Hi, everybody. It's 11/21/2024, Thursday. In the background music, this is from Brother Dana on the last and greatest day of the feast by Brother Dana. So that's a video that's going to be playing in the background. The neighbors upstairs are pounding. You know, the kids have been home all week because all the teachers are striking all of a sudden. Go figure. What a time to strike. And then, so I'm going to put this in the background. And while we look at some pictures I took on the 18th by face, you can probably hear him banging in the background. But there's something playing out here on my face. Like this, you can see there's a face right here. I think there's more. I think there's another face down here. Right there. There might be a bigger one with both of them combined. But of all days, pounding in the morning is just so annoying. I mean, it's only 9:48 in the morning. But this is the left side of my face. I was kind of hoping that let's do that. Let's check it out. See what's playing out there. Of course, there's the bigger glance, you can see this bigger image in white, the two eyeballs right there. Not sure what that's representing. Oh, I think these are hands. These look like praying hands. I can't really figure this out just yet, but I figured I would look at it, see if there's something else playing out. Hand in the white. And that verse just so happens to also contain the phrase "in the last day." And that made me suspicious because it reminded me of the use of that phrase 4 times in the previous chapter. So I decided to search for that phrase in Scripture. And if you search for the number of occurrences in the King James Version of "at the last day" or "in the last day," yeah, that is a face. There are only 7. 4 of them, the first 4, are Jesus's repeated declaration. But what does it mean? Oh, I think there's a face right here too. Smaller one. And then it's used in John 7:37, as we just saw. And then again in John 11 by Martha talking about the resurrection. And then once more in John 12 by Jesus talking about being judged in the last day. So those are all the occurrences of that phrase. So it's pretty rare, actually. So in every instance of this phrase being used, it's used in the context of the day of resurrection or judgment. That's fascinating. Where it's a reference to the great eighth day. Okay, let's save that one. And check this out. Now I want to check out. Is it that one? This one goes straight on. So my computer system updated yesterday, and I noticed that it changed or upgraded the photo section. And God's pattern is that you multiply a number by 10 to find its ultimate fulfillment. So, for instance, let's put some contrast. Hebrew gematria is 148. You multiply that by 10, and you get 1480, which in Greek gematria is Christ. This is what I want to. Hopefully, it's coming out. Trying to figure out, because this is my birthmark. There's something playing out there over my nose. Just look at that.
There's something
So
right
to continue
there.
this pattern, we can take the number that means to divide, which is 117, multiply it by 10, and it gives you 1170, which should be the ultimate division. And as we saw here, 1170 equals the gematria value for Shemini Atzeret. And considering that the rapture would be the ultimate fulfillment of to divide, because it's dividing the believer from the non-believer, the light from the darkness, then this pattern could be implying that the rapture occurs on Shemini Atzeret. But November 24th is well past the full moon, so what do we do with these verses that talk about, blowing the trumpets at the full moon, like Psalm 81:3?
It's like right here around my face. It's like the darker, it's like a shadow right there of something. But
So how do we deal with this verse? Well, I think
let's
Psalm
go to the
81:3
next
is
one.
something like a riddle, and we're not actually supposed to
Now,
interpret
this one I
these
didn't
divisions
quite
as all
get.
happening on the same day, but rather as a sequence of 3 events. And those 3 events are,
Yeah,
number 1,
this one I
blowing
didn't
the trumpet on
quite
the new
get
moon.
the whole
Number
side of
2,
my
the
face.
full moon. And number 3, our solemn feast day. So the riddle is basically to figure out which solemn feast day this is referring to based on these other 2 events in the sequence. So let's list them out here real fast. Okay, so Spanish, we've got a blow trumpet on the new moon, followed by a full moon, and then followed by a solemn feast day. So the question is, which solemn feast day is that referring to? Well, there are 3
I
feasts
should get a
in the
better
year
picture.
which are
I'm
referred
not
to
sure if we
in
can
Scripture
even
as solemn:
understand that.
the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Tabernacles, and possibly the Feast of Weeks as well. So of those 3 feasts, which one fits the pattern of being in a month?
Look at these
with the
dark
trumpet
marks
blowing
around
on the
my
new moon?
face.
Well, obviously not the Feast of Unleavened Bread or the Feast of Weeks, because the trumpet isn't blown on either Nisan 1 or Sivan 1. So the only one that fits the pattern would be the Feast of Tabernacles, because the trumpet is blown on Tishri 1, since that's the Feast of Trumpets. So this Psalm 81:3 sequence can only be fulfilled in the month of Tishri. And therefore, the third event in the sequence, the solemn feast day, must refer to one of the days of the Feast of Tabernacles.
This is interesting.
So how do we know
This
it's
is
the
my
8th day of the
birthmark.
Feast of Tabernacles? Well, for one thing, Leviticus 23:36 specifically defines the 8th day of Tabernacles as a solemn assembly. But in other places in Scripture, such as Deuteronomy 16:15, the entire feast is described as solemn. So is there any other evidence here that might narrow it down
I'm
to
not
the
sure
8th
what
day of
that
the feast?
is.
Well, I think the chapter verse signature of Psalm 81:3 might be able to help us out here, because if you reverse that, you get 318. And we know that Sukkot in Hebrew Gematria, specifically Hebrew ordinal, equals 31. So this is like Sukkot, 8th day, 318. A
Reflection.
confirmation of that is that the great 8th day is always observed on 7/22, which is Tishri 22. And 7 divided by 22 is equal to 0.318. Again, echoing this 318 here, Sukkot.
See, look at the shape of that. It just looks different.
Another neat little thing that I
It's
found
got
is
these
that the
angles
word
to it.
solemn actually occurs
It's like there's
12
something there.
times
I just
in
can't
King
figure out
James
what
Bible.
it is.
And I don't know if you know this, but the biblical meaning of the number 29
Oh, I think
is
there's a
departure.
face. There is a face right there. There's an eye,
All right, so
and
the
there's an
276
eye.
sign also
Oh,
points
you
to the
can see
southern
the eye
portion
really
of
well
November
there.
24th, which is Tishri 22. In that sign, the moon was in third constellation of Gemini, and the verse from which we derived the position of the moon in this sign is Acts
I knew there was
20:11,
something there. I just don't know
where it
what it
mentions a
is.
ship departing that had the
That's a
sign of
trip.
Castor and Pollux.
It's
Castor and
right
Pollux,
there
of
on
course,
top of
being
my
a reference to
nose.
Gemini. And if we reverse this 28:11 chapter verse signature to 11:28, then it gives us what I suspect to be the number of orbits of the moon around the Earth between the 276 sign and the rapture. So since a lunar orbit is exactly 29.53 days, all we have to do is multiply 11.28 times
I
29.53
wonder what
days.
that represents.
And it gives us 333 days. And now we can just pull up a date calculator and see what date 333 days after the 276 sign date takes us to. And we see it takes us exactly to Sunday, November 24th, which is the 50th day. So
You can see that lens in my eye.
chapter verse, the verse from which we derive
Kind of like a line going
276
across.
sign encodes the number of lunar orbits from that sign until
But
the
who's this?
specifically 11.28 orbits of the moon around the Earth. Wouldn't that be something if that turns out to be correct? And the date of November 24th also echoes the 276 sign in another way, because that sign heavily telegraphed the number 329, since it
Can't really make out what's going on here.
symbolizing
I want to go back up here.
when Jesus was on the cross. So 3 to 9, and numerically 3 to 9 is represented by the number 329. And in fact, when you study the numerics of the sign, the number 329 pops up very, very frequently. So why is that number connected to November 24th? Well, November 24th just happens to be the 329th day of the year. And it also happens to be exactly 3 months and 29 days after July 26 or 7/26, the Harpazo number. And the taking of Zerubbabel in Haggai chapter 2 also fits November 24th, obviously, because it says in Haggai 2:23, in that day will I take thee, O Zerubbabel. And of course, in that day it goes back to verse 20, where it says the 24th day of some unspecified month. So that could easily apply to the 24th day of November. And for anyone who wasn't already aware, the taking of Zerubbabel in this verse is a typological reference to the rapture. We are also still typically in the Amos